issues. I mean, he missed today. He'll be back in. And Cam Jones was sick and missed today. Spencer is the only one really to report. Strained his hamstring. Did it Monday when training, and so he will be listed as out today. Other than that, we sure look forward to challenge of playing the Raiders, good football team, playing confident football on really both sides of the ball. Now, they've got a couple changes in there. We'll have to adjust to that. But again, our guys had a good week of practice, and we know when the Raiders and the Chiefs get together, it's always one of those kind of games. So, anyways, with that, time's yours.
Coach, just speaking, Leo will be back on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your expectation as far as Isaiah Pacheco and Charles Minihue being up for this game?
I mean, as long as they're okay. I mean, we'll check on it again today. I've been trying to take it day by day. If they're good after today, then we'll play them. Yep.
Coach, you love NFL history. You kind of mentioned this already, but does Raider Week have any particular importance to you? Just looking at NFL history, what this means?
Well, there've been a lot of great games, and I know both teams kind of understand that that there's been a rivalry for a lot of years. A lot of great players, both sides, both teams. That's really where I'd tell you the history started back in the AFL with it. So, and both teams had good players, and so they battled each other and. Violently, they battled each other. It was quite great competition against each other. So.
Did you see anything positive? I mean, I know it's the first week for DJ, but just anything that you noticed from him?
Yeah, listen, he looked healthy, moving around, felt good. It's just a matter of him getting back in the swing and then also compounded with just the offense, making sure he has the terminology down, and he'll go from there. So,
what's a reasonable time frame for him?
Yeah, we'll just play it by ear. I told him let's just keep the communication open, and we'll figure it out. That's kind of what we've done with the other guys that have come in, and we'll just keep open communication. He seems like a guy that's shoots you straight, so that's what I'd expect.
Coach, you guys have already had to deal with going through kickers this year and a couple years ago when you had Matthew here before. What do you guys like about him, and what are any limitations on how far kick? I mean, I know he's not Harrison Butker, but
yeah,
he did a 59-yarder.
Yeah, sure. No, I think we all have trust in him from having been around him. So we look forward to welcome him into the mix. And I know guys know him and have made him, I think, feel that way coming back here. So full trust in him. Yeah.
What sense do you get from the defensive guys? Spags was still a little bit irritated yesterday about the way the game ended last week. What sort of sense do you get from them about how the last couple of weeks have gone defensively for them?
Yeah, listen, there have been some real good things, but there are some things that we've got to clean up, and so the guys are taking accountability for that, and coaches, and that's what it's all about. You work through those things and make sure that you can get yourself where you want to be.
Andy, I got a non-football question for you. Yeah. It's pretty viral about you. You're known for this mac and cheese, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. What is in it, and kind of what's so special about it?
The mac and cheese?
Yeah, your mac and cheese. You've got 5 cheeses and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like it. You and I could do some damage on that thing. Huh? It's as long as it tastes good, we eat it, and that one tastes pretty good. Can't give away the secrets, man. You and I might want to open up a restaurant, huh?
It is a weird week. You're gonna have a lot of weird weeks with the Friday game and Thanksgiving. You guys will still do some work tomorrow. The guys get a little Thanksgiving time. How will you guys handle tomorrow, and how much family time will you get yourself?
Yeah, there's some unique weeks, but we're making them consistent with what we do, and working around it, making sure the guys get enough recovery time. They always have tomorrow off after the walkthrough, and then before they get to the hotel, so they have time to visit with their families, do what they need to do there. Yeah.
Well, last few, good.
Andy, I wanted to ask you about the giving machine, the organization you created for Mike calls Mike Cleats. What does that mean to you in your life?
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic because it does good for people and all over the world. I mean, it's an amazing thing to look at and watch and see how it's grown throughout the country and then how it's given people a chance to have maybe an easier life that don't have that, always have the flexibility to buy that. Yeah.
Matt? Obviously, multiple tight ends have been kind of your bread and butter this year. Now losing Peyton, how does that position shake out for you? And I mean, is like Anthony Ferguson a guy that you might need this week?
Yeah, no, that would he would be one that we could use in there. Again, he's another one that's coming back to us, so we're familiar with him and kind of what he can do, and obviously a brilliant guy, but and we've worked him in there, so he's been getting some reps. But yes, he's one that we could work with. Yeah.
Last one, Sam.
Patrick mentioned just the 2-minute drill situations you guys cover pretty frequently in meetings. I just wonder, how frequently do you have those, and what benefit do you see actually on the field of having gone over
Yeah,
those
sure.
so frequently?
Yeah, we hit it heavy at least once a week, so it's important. I think most teams probably do something of that sort, and but I think it's important. All the details, situational football, I think, is important. That's one of the situations, and we've been in it a few times. We've needed it. Yeah.
And then just how beneficial is it to have a guy like Patrick who seems to constantly be thinking of all these?
He does a great job with it, and he is. He's interested in it. Another guy that's, I think, great at it as a coach is Matt Nagy, Joe Blameyer. Those guys, they do a great job with it, and Pat loves it. So, but yeah, we try to have a plan going in every week. You see how much we do at training camp with it. It's important. It doesn't mean every time it's going to work, but we're going to try to at least narrow down the odds the best we possibly can with it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Okay, good. Thanks. Thanksgiving?
You too, Drew.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
So what's your Thanksgiving plan? Have any special recipe or anything?
We'll see what we're going to cook up. I think we're going to do a turkey. Everybody has to do one dish. So I think I'm going to handle the turkey. We'll see what my wife does, my mother-in-law, and then my two brother-in-laws. But it should be a nice little spread.
It's probably be a Thanksgiving like you probably haven't had before, playing the game the day after it. It is a little bit weird, right? Because you'll have to go to the hotel and all the stuff after you're home, but you're kind of not.
Yeah, it'll be unique. It'll be nice. I'll get to have a family, Thanksgiving dinner with my family, and then my brother's here. We'll have another dinner that night, and it'll be good.
What's the attitude right now on defense? I know you guys aren't particularly happy with the last couple of weeks, but what's the work been like this week and ready for this game?
I thought Spags said it great when we had our kind of debrief from last week's game. It's like the feeling we felt of being upset is because I think we've set a high standard over the past year and a half, not only statistically but just culturally. And so we hold ourselves to that standard, and we feel like we haven't played our best ball these last few games. So we're trying to steadily improve. We want to be playing our best football in January and February. And so we know each week is another step in that direction, and we hope to get back on the right track this week.
What kind of things are you working on in particular to make that happen?
I think it's just execution of our calls. I mean, there's a lot of nuances in regards to our pressures and a lot that can happen post-snap in our coverages. And so being on the same page, we have some younger guys that have rotated in, guys that haven't necessarily played a lot of snaps together, and so getting everybody on the same page. Getting Charles back this week, excited to have him back. But just communicate and be on the same page, executing our stuff.
You mentioned Steve and his leadership there. How is he, in more than even you described, been able to keep you guys kind of focused in on there's a lot more football left to play than just these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, Spags is hyper competitive. He's one of the most competitive coaches I've been around, and I think just his steadfastness, his consistency in his messaging, and he doesn't waver. His game plans are spot on, and he expects us to go out there and execute them, and we'll have to do that at a high level this week.
Let's do a couple more, guys.
You mentioned Charles. He's been practicing for a couple of weeks. Obviously, he wants to get back on the field. What's it been like to watch him kind of want to get back, but know you have to take your time to do that? And what can he bring for you guys that you missed maybe in this first part of the season?
Yeah, I mean, Charles brings a lot of energy. I know he's been hungry to get back, and it's looking like it's trending in that direction. And he's been a great asset for us. Obviously, makes that huge play in Baltimore last year. And so I know he's been itching, chomping at the bit to get back, and we'll be excited whenever that opportunity is.
Drew, what do you see from this Raiders offense on tape?
Well, they got good skill guys, got great tight ends, an offensive line that's coming together and gelling, and then a quarterback situation that's been real fluid. We'll see who's in there on Friday afternoon, but it's a group of guys that's getting better as they take more snaps together.
And from last time you guys played, what kind of stood out to you about Brock Bowers as a tight end?
Yeah, he's kind of a complete tight end, can run the full route tree. He's explosive, got great yards after the catch, great route running ability, fast, in and out of breaks, can block as well. And so he's kind of the complete package for him.
Last one here, Nate.
I was going to ask about Brock Bowers myself.
The all juice team. What's the all juice team?
Oh,
We need everybody to have that swag in here.
Yeah, it's a long story. But we'll
All
tell it
right.
sometime. Yeah.
All right.
All good, guys?
Thanks, guys.
Awesome, Drew.
Man, I'm warm now.
DJ, what have just the last 11 months been like for you?
Man, it's been interesting. It's been how do you say, like you find out stuff about yourself when you go through stuff like that. Like I knew I was a tough guy already, but like having to go through those things and getting those, man, you had such a great career, man. What a run. Like those texts was like really trying for me, and it was like, damn, people just assuming it's over because I'm hurt. You know what I mean? So that was probably the toughest part. Being injured and going through the injury and stuff, that was, I mean, it's football. You know, everybody gets hurt at some point, and you bounce back and you go through it. So that wasn't really ever in my mind. But like just the response and how people kind of perceive what was going on, it kind of caught me off guard. I think that was the toughest part about the whole thing, was kind of like, yo, people expect me to just like tuck it right now. Like, do you not? My personality must have not shown that like this is not who I am. You know what I mean? So I think that was like the toughest part of it for real.
So DJ, what kept you going?
In the last 11 months?
Oh, definitely. I think that like more so for me, like I'm a competitor when it comes to like, oh, I can't do it. Okay, thanks. Like I appreciate that. So like that kind of gave me that feeling. And throughout the rehab, it's kind of like this. Okay, thanks. I appreciate that. Like I've never had to prove myself or show anything like that. You know what I mean? So that was a good feeling for me. I think it was probably one of the best things that could ever happen for my career, because I don't know how you gain hunger and like that fire over again when you're like rich and you don't have the like. There's no worries. It's hard to like keep that fire if you're not competing for a championship every day. And aside from the fire that I have to just be the best player, but like that fire of like I got something to prove and I got to go out and show it every day, when you start getting paid and become a vet, you kind of lose that part of it. So I don't know if I would have ever had anything happen to make that feeling come back and that fire come back and I got to prove it come back. So I think it was good for me, honestly. Crazy to say, but I think it was.
No, Sam kind of asked my question.
How you feeling?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm in Kansas City, bro.
Yeah.
I'm pretty ecstatic. You know what I mean? I can't, don't get much better than this.
What's it been like getting welcome to the group and kind of finding your way through the offense right now?
It's been dope. It's been really like kind of surprising how like welcoming and accepting and like everyone is. You know, I play offensive line, so we have a theory that like no one knows who we are. You know what I mean? So it's like when you come in the building, they're like, "Oh, OG, what's good?" Like they talk to me, I'm like, "Oh, what's up? What's up? Appreciate you." Like everybody's excited for me to be here, and that's a really good feeling. Like coming from some place, you've been in one place for so long, and then you go to a new place and you're getting welcomed with open arms by all pro players. You know what I mean? It's not like you're getting welcomed with open arms by a bunch of slappers. It's like, yo, we need you. Like, please come and save us. It's like you're getting all pro guys' arms stretched out. Like, oh my God, we're so happy that you're here. And it's like, yo, this is a great feeling.
Nobody knows, obviously, your body, where you're at right now. How long, in your opinion, reasonably will it take for you to feel like, I'm ready to go?
I mean, my body's fine. I'm just here. Whenever they tell me that it's time to go, whenever Coach Reid says it's time to go, that's when I'm going to go.
Yeah.
But my body's fine.
Could that be as early as Friday or next week? Or?
I promise. If I had a crystal ball, I'd give it to you. I'd tell you. But I don't. Whenever he tell me a go time, I'm jumping off the shelf.
DJ, you may have spoken to this, but when you're hearing all that about people thinking you might just be done, what gave you the faith that, well, that's ridiculous? Like I'm going to be back.
Because I felt like I was putting myself in a position to go to the table. Like I knew that my contract was getting close to the end. My mind, aside from injury, that I'm preparing to get ready to go into a contract year, or we're finna do something this offseason. So then you get hurt and then you get released, and then the automatic response is like, oh, great year. So it's like my minds were two polar opposites of what the response that I was getting from people. I'm thinking that I'm still who I think I am, I know I am, and I'm finna get ready to get paid, and all this is finna go down, and then I get hurt, and it's like the world is like, hey, good job, man. Go hang out with your kids, coach your soccer, do something like that, and it's like, nah, that's not. You clearly don't know me, who I am.
And can you just tell us a little bit about the process of coming to the Chiefs? How it unfolded, and what makes you so excited to be here? It's probably obvious, but
honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first got released, I told my kids, and I told my kids like, "Yo, Dad's gonna get fired. Like I'm not gonna be on the Cardinals anymore." Like, just to kind of, I didn't even know how to explain it to them. Just kind of give them a heads up before they went to school, and their friends are telling them, because my son didn't even know the magnitude about like football and all that stuff. And he goes to school and he finds out what's going on like that, you know. So I wanted to give him a heads up. And my son Dash, immediate, no better eyelash, didn't care about me getting released. I really want you to go to Kansas City so you can play with Patrick Mahomes and you can probably win a Super Bowl. And I was like, yeah, son, thank you. Like it was no, like he didn't have a care about like what's going on. His automatic mind was like, you should go to the Chiefs. And I was like, from then on, the whole thing, everybody would say something here and there, and I was like, my son said that's where I'm going, so I don't know, man. We'll see how it go. So fast forward now, here we are, and I've been calling him every day, like, man, you a trip, boy. You spoke it, boy.
We're gonna go last three here. Matt, Nate, and
How old is he?
He's 8. Yep. I have 8. My 8-year-old Dash, my 6-year-old Nova, my 15-month-old boy Day, and then my 2-month-old daughter Nelly. Yeah, I got a goof troop, man. We got a goof troop.
Hey, DJ, what's your sense of your role here? I mean, you know, was your expectation to come in and start? Is it just to simply compete,
Football player? That's it. I got full faith in the fact that this organization knows what to do with football players and knows where to put them and put them in the roles that they need to be. All I got to do is go out there on the field and be the best version of myself every day. And Andy Reid and Coach Nagy and Coach Hitt gonna make sure I'm in the right spot where I'm supposed to be at and when I'm supposed to be there. So it ain't even that ain't even part of my job. I just go out there and block the end until they tell me it's time to go. You know. So that's why I think that's my role. Play football, block the end.
The Chiefs have a couple of young tackles too, as well, in Kingsley and Wanye.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there's a sense of leadership and mentorship that you can provide to those guys?
I don't know about like if I sense it, but it's just when I'm around young players, that's the role of football. That's how I was brought along with my older vets that took a liking to me. Is everything that I know on that football field, somebody showed me. None of us woke up in the O-line, woke up knowing how to take a pass set or block the end or do it. None of us woke up knowing how to do that stuff. So everything that we've learned is somebody gave it to us. So it's my responsibility to make sure I pass it. I can't let you do something that I know the solution to and keep watching you do it. And just keep letting you not know what's going on. That's not how I was brought up in football. That's not how my OGs did me in ball. They always pulled me to the side and showed me the game. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to pass the game on and make sure I leave it better than I found it.
Last two, Nate and then Nick.
DJ, I guess I have two questions really quick. Did you have any conversation with DeAndre about his experiences with Kansas City before you joined? And then secondly, what is it when you initially, know you're going to play with Patrick Mahomes? Just what goes through your mind?
Me and Hop definitely talked a couple times, and I had to tell him in the middle of it, like, hey, bro, you don't have to sell me on this thing, bro. I don't need a sales pitch on the Kansas City Chiefs, bud.
He was trying, though.
He was trying to, yeah. He was trying to tell me, like, because he knew what the situation was, that I was talking to other teams and stuff like that. So he was trying to, like, give me a real sense from a player perspective what it was like here. And I had to stop him in the middle of it, like, yo, bro, like, you ain't got to sell me, bud. I know what's going on over there, bud. I watch TV, so you ain't got to sell me on nothing.
Last one, Nick.
At a bowl, your just initial thoughts about having the opportunity to play with Patrick.
Me and my wife laughed about it. It's been a while since I've been in a situation where I didn't set the standard for the room or the building or what's going on. So being able to be around guys like Travis and Chris and Kelsey and Creed, all them dudes, it's like the level of expectation is already high when I came in the building. So I don't have to set a standard, or I just got to make sure I'm with the guys. I can't be down here because everybody's already up here. So I think that's my favorite part about it. That's the first thing I thought about. Is like, we about to be. It's time to pull out the best version of ball, the best time of football right now, because this is limelight.
Last one, Nick.
Did you play with Juwan in college?
I missed him by a year.
Okay.
So my rookie year was his freshman year.
Okay.
Yep.
And DJ, for you, when you're waiting to get medically cleared and everything, how do you approach trying to be able to stay in condition and get in condition from a football perspective?
Man, honestly, I got to give a shout out to my guys at AMGD Sports. Those dudes, man, I mean, from Doug to Brian to CJ to Josh to my man K2, my boy, the PT that we did everything together from day one of me getting released. I mean, those dudes never allowed me to like sink or be down on myself or anything like that. And they really got me through this thing, and they made sure that I kept my standard the whole time, even when I was not feeling good and all that stuff. They made sure that I lived up to who they thought I was every time, even until I got myself there mentally, and then we took it to the next level. So it was good. I got tougher. Yeah, I got tougher.
Thanks, DJ.
Appreciate y'all, man.